thought that this has become one of the most sought after items, not just in the UK, but in every country in Europe and around the world? People are desperate to get hold of toilet rolls. And not just toilet rolls, but Pastor, you go to the shops and the shelves are bare. And you think to yourself, what is going on? Our country, our community, our world is in crisis. There seems to be so much anxiety. There seems to be so much fear. And when there's anxiety and fear, one of the things that we do as a human race is that we try and take control. And one of the ways that people are trying to take back a little bit of control is by stockpiling toilet roll and all of these other things. And it's not helped by the news and by social media. If you've been on Twitter, you will have seen that it has gone into meltdown. You have Piers Morgan going on and on and on every hour about what the government is doing and what the government isn't doing and what it should be doing. And there are people that are arguing we need our schools open, and there are those that are arguing we need our schools closed. And there is so much confusion. There is so much anxiety. There is so much uncertainty and panic. And I suppose the question for me and for us is, how are we going to respond in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of this panic? And for me, there are two things that I want to encourage us to do. Number one, I want to encourage us to press into Jesus. I want to encourage us to fix our eyes upon him, because in him we find peace that passes all understanding. It is a peace that this world does not give. Fix your eyes upon Jesus. Put your trust in him. Spend time in his presence. Help him to affirm and encourage and to bless you. But alongside that, I want to encourage us to not just have our eyes upon ourselves and me and how I'm coping, but I want to encourage us to have a vision that is outward looking to the vulnerable, to the needy, to those that are alone. And I want to read us just a couple of verses from Matthew's Gospel. And the Gospels follow Jesus around. And one of the things that you see about Jesus is that he loves people. He spends time eating with people. He spends time talking with people. He spends time teaching people and listening to people. And what he's doing is he's trying to say to them, guys, there is a different way of doing life. There is a way that brings peace. There is a way that brings hope. There is a way that brings forgiveness, the ability to start again, knowing that you are not on your own in this world. And that's fantastic. And we hear the stories of him talking with people and healing with people. But one of the things that really excites me and challenges me is not just the things that Jesus did, but why he did them. What lay beneath, what was going on deep inside of him. So here are some words from Matthew's Gospel, Matthew chapter 9, verses 35 to 36. And it says this: Jesus went through all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and sickness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Isn't that incredible? So Jesus did all of these things. And what was his motivation? It was a compassion that when he saw people, his heart goes out to them. He has this great compassion for them. And he saw that they were harassed and they were helpless. Now, I suspect those are two words that we could use to describe many of the people in our society, in our country, in our world today, as they are struggling with all that is going on, harassed and helpless. And one of the things that I want to encourage us to do is to pray for that same compassion that Jesus had, that actually we may be able to speak into the situations that those people find themselves in, that we may help the harassed and the helpless. And I want to suggest just a few ways that we might want to think about doing that. Now, it may be that you've found yourself in self-isolation, and so spending time with people and seeing people is very difficult. So if that is you, I want to encourage you to use that time praying. Pray for those people that you know that don't yet know Jesus. Pray for those people that you know that are vulnerable, that are those on their own, those that may be feeling isolated, those that struggle with their mental health. Daily Make it a priority. Be praying for these people. And just because you can't see them, it doesn't mean to say that we can't phone them, or we can't text them, or we can't get in touch. We could even, I don't know, this is a weird idea, we could write them a letter. But find ways that in the midst of your isolation, you can be connecting with people. But it may be that you're not in self-isolation. And I want to encourage you, who are the people around you that you could maybe ask, can I do some shopping? Do you want to come over for a cup of tea? Do you know who the vulnerable people are in your street? If you do, knock on their door, put a little card through saying, hi, my name is, I'm here, I want to help, here is my number. If you need anything, get in touch with me. It may be too that you want to help us with our food bank. In the midst of this crisis, we're going to be seeing more and more people coming to us in need of food. Could you help by donating? I want to encourage us. This is a time of turmoil and a time of chaos and panic in our society. But I want to encourage us that we can be Jesus, that we can pray for people, that we can support people, that we can encourage people, that maybe they too may know the truth in the midst of this crisis. Just wanted to say that this is up for sale. £10 or the highest bidder.